I'm Fernanda Paiva, Hitchhiking Stars, and today we're going to be talking about the new moon. So we have a new moon at 23 degrees Leo. That's happening on the 16th of August 2023. So what is this cycle about? What can we see in the chart of this new moon? And how can we harness these energies to set the best intentions according to the planetary movements there, so it will be supportive of our intentions. So first of all, that's a powerful new moon. Again, there's a sense of power, and I think as a Leo season, we've been going through Leo season now for a little while. It's a lot about self-expression. It's still a lot about self-expression and healing our capacity to be ourselves as well, to be in touch with our inner child, to be spontaneous as well. So there was a little bit of that topic when I talked about the full moon. We had a full moon on the 1st of August at 9 degrees Aquarius, and it touched a little bit about that on this subject. But it's also continuing with the new moon. And now that with the full moon, and that moon in Aquarius, we had the opportunity to let something go, to move on from something connected with the collective ideals or the collective expectations. Now with this new moon, we have an opportunity to set intentions to plant seeds that are Leonine in characteristics. So Leo really speaks of the right to be ourselves, the right to be just you. It's like you came here to be you and nobody else, and the not the need, but the right to be recognized as an individual in your own right. So I think this cycle will still be about reclaiming that and healing that ability to be ourselves there as well. So one of the main aspects of this new moon is a square between the sun and the moon and Uranus. So it's a very, very tight square. So both sun and the moon are at 23 Leo, and planet Uranus is at 23 Taurus. So the square, the 90 degrees between the two, is very strong. And a square usually talks about something that's in conflict. There is a sense of a conflicting energy there, and I think the first thing that comes to mind when I see that is awakening. This lunar cycle will bear a lot of awakenings or a lot of opportunities for us to awake, to snap out from a situation. And again, because it's in Leo, it does have a sense of searching for authenticity, being in touch, being in tune with our authenticity and our ability to be ourselves in a situation. So that's going to be challenged by uncertainty or sudden disruptions, potentially with that Uranus there, or surprises as well. Now, what I can think of in a positive way, in a constructive way, of this new moon in square to Uranus is awakening the sense of individuality within, is focusing on interconnection and interdependence rather than codependence. So whenever we have Uranus very connected with a transit or personal transit to our charts, or a new moon like we're seeing here, there is a challenge to codependence, to really not being yourself and trying to fulfill a certain role just because it's more comfortable, or because it's what's expected from you, or because of a sense of security. So this sense of security might be challenged during this cycle, during this new moon cycle. So is an invitation to look closer to anything that's somehow holding you back, and not allowing you to freely step into your more spontaneous, your more joyful self as well. That's another Leo theme sort of that I think of with this new moon as well. As usual, I like to talk about the Sabian symbol because I love these imageries. I love to reflect, to use it creatively, just to think about what this image can be teaching us or can be inspiring us during this cycle. So 23 Leo, the image for it is an interesting one. Is so here it goes. This is totally concentrated upon inner spiritual attainment. A man sitting in a state of complete neglect of bodily appearance and cleanliness. So that's a bit of a weird imagery there, and especially for me being a Virgo, this image of someone neglecting the body and neglecting cleanliness is quite haunting, really. It's not a very nice one. But in the book that I've been using, so I've been using Dane Rudhyar. He's a very well-known, respected astrologer. He started psychological astrology in the 30s, and so he was very forward-thinking astrologer, at his time. So he published a book on the Sabian symbols, and I've been using it. So according to him, it's actually good, the sense of complete focus and concentration. So according to him, there is this idea of if we don't focus enough somewhere or on something, if we don't really send our energies to something 100% and give 100% of ourselves, then nothing really comes to fruition. So this new moon perhaps has is synchronistically related to that, and to the challenges around how much do we want something and how much are we putting ourselves into actually creating that something, with the personal accountability, but also having your identity connected with what you want, the sense of self that's there. Like, is that really what brings you? Is that really what brings you joy? Is that really what you want? Is that where you want to dedicate yourself 100%? So there's a little bit of that Dane Rudhyar talks, in relation to this degree. And he says that this degree is about focused concentration. So perhaps cutting off anything that's distracting you from being who you want to be. That's the way I can see that, especially because we're talking about a Leonine cycle here. Anything that prevents you from being who you are, you can cut it off, potentially, with that square to Uranus as well. So for liberating, I think Uranus is a liberating energy. So focus your energy into finding what's holding you back, what's preventing you, and how can you change the situation? How can you make amends there? How can you improve anything as well? And so you can really shine your light. Or, are you shining your light? Where is Leo in your chart? Like, this would be a really good clue here as well, to find out where is Leo, where you need to shine your light, where you need to be yourself and to be authentic, and etc. And how to connect yourself to that process as well. So those are some of the questions here with this degree, with this sign as well, and this idea of focused concentration. If we concentrate, how is that saying? Like, where attention goes, energy flows. And so that's where we're actually manifesting something. So if you say that you want to be an artist, or that you want to be creating more of this or that, you want to spend more time with your family, but all you're doing is, the other things, this is an invitation here for you to rethink that balance and set intentions on this more creatively fulfilling life. I think creatively fulfilling is a very Leo theme here that we can think of as well with this new moon. Now, in terms of the rest of the chart, as I look at the new moon here in front of me, in terms of the rest of the chart, the other planetary aspects as well, there's one in particular that's very powerful, which is Mars in trine to that Uranus. So while we have the moon and the sun in Leo in square to Uranus, we've got Mars in trine to that Uranus. A very tight trine as well between the two. And so there is a flow of energy. There is a harmony, that a harmonious exchange between Mars and Virgo, that Uranus in Taurus at the time of the new moon. And this could be pointing out to service-oriented actions, acting to create something of the material realm as well. And that potentially this could be on the way there of you expressing yourself individually. So how can you balance this? How can you balance this too? But Mars trine Uranus can also be the promise of this lunar cycle being again similarly to what was going on with the full moon in Aquarius, that we had Mars in trine to Jupiter. Now with Mars trine Uranus is like being at the right time, in the right place at the right time, and take swift action, and something about what we've been wanting to do, or something connected with our routine, with our bodies as well, and somehow improving some situation. I think Virgo has that connection with improving, seeing what works, separating what works from what doesn't work. And so Mars in trine to Uranus could be reflective of potential actions that could improve our situations as well. It could also be the actions that are where we're focused, our concentration there, but we're not paying attention to the Leo side of our lives as well. This could be the part of the reflection here for this new moon. But it's a wonderful one to set and really try to reclaim the inner child, do inner child work. Find out what brings you joy, because after all, and this is the third aspect that I really wanted to mention here with this new moon, after all, we're still having Venus retrograde. So Venus is still going backwards. It will be doing that until the 3rd of September. So it's a long time. It will still be in Leo until October. So it's a big invitation here to reclaim our values, to reconnect with our values, to find what gives us, a zest for life, what brings us fun, how do we have fun, and how can we share ourselves with other people as well. And so healing our capacity to be in the world, healing our capacity to take space as well. I think that's another one that's very important with Leo in general, is learning how to take space, that you have the right to take up space, to be yourself and to express yourself and shine your light, and in that way to serve. By being yourself, you can definitely bring some unique contribution into the world. I've been saying earlier in some of my YouTube videos, now personality is currency. Personality, personal story, part of your personal brand is really under the spotlight here in the digital era, and especially with Pluto moving to Aquarius later on. This idea that we got AI writing content, and we've got all the cookie cutter sort of businesses out there, but being unique, sharing a little bit of who you are, is the way that you can actually make the greatest impact right now and for the next few decades, whilst Pluto is in Aquarius. So this new moon can definitely help us heal that sense of specialness and that sense of, yes, I've got the right to be here. The trine from Venus to Chiron certainly representing that, and Chiron Aries also healing our sense of individualness, being an individual, being autonomous, taking action in an autonomous way as well. That's Aries, having the courage to express ourselves as well. So this is there with this new moon, the chart of this new moon. So that's it, folks. I hope this is helpful. I'm wishing you all a wonderful new moon, new lunar cycle. Don't forget to rest as well. New moons are perfect for resting. Drink plenty of water, and I hope that you can create the life that you want to live, because you really, really deserve it. That's it. I will see you soon. Bye bye.